Hey, what's up guys? Dan here, and in today's video I'm going to break down exactly how I was able to make $212,185, almost $185, actually $184.67, as you guys can see right here, in 1 month in the past 30 days. So right here, this is my Shopify store. I wanted to show you guys this just as proof that it's possible, and that even though the numbers sound insane, there's a lot of different things that go behind this, and I'm going to explain everything, like this exact strategy that I used, the ads that I was running, how I was able to come in and dominate the market. And so this is something that if you're starting out with online business, this is incredibly exciting for you, because now in 2019, if you're starting a Shopify store, or you want to start a Shopify store so that you can build your own brand, if you're watching this, I'm telling you, it's possible. 2 years ago, I think like 2.5 years ago now, I was completely broke. I was $40,000 in college debt. I was working a job that I absolutely hated. And actually, I was working at one of the big banks in Canada. I was wearing a suit and tie to work every day, even though I was making $40,000 a year, and so many people like that exist right now. And if you're someone who really believes that there's so much more out of life than just working a job like that, I'm telling you there is. I've pursued online business for a couple of years now, and now for me, this isn't something that's hard to do. Once you spend enough time learning the proper skills like advertising, setting up a Shopify store, and everything to do with this business and this income stream with e-commerce, right now it's the rising tide. Right now e-commerce is growing at such a fast rate that if you are willing to commit, and if you put all of your excuses aside, and you realize that if you just take what is working, what is already making millions and millions of dollars for so many people out there in the world today that are taking advantage of e-commerce, and the fact that anybody can start a successful online business today, a successful passive income business, then you will surely succeed. So right now, these are the numbers for today. It was $4,099 in sales. This is in revenue. 72 total orders, which is amazing. I never would have thought I would have made this much in one day from one of my businesses. This is just one of them. And right here you can see February 25th to March 26th, which is about 30 days. And you can see if we change this over to like the 1st to the 15th, there you go, 87,000. And then if we change this to the 14th to the 27th, we have 139,000. So actually, this store has been, I've actually been working on this store for a few months now, but this has been the biggest month so far because I really scaled things up. And I'll talk about my exact scaling strategy, how I was able to do that. It's not complicated, but it took me a while to actually go and find out how to do it because there's so much information out there on the internet, even for me, someone who's already experienced with online business, someone who has built multiple seven-figure businesses, multiple million-dollar, multi-million-dollar businesses online. For me, it was even difficult to go and find the correct information. So I'm going to give you guys it all in this video. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, guys, so how I made $212,185 in 30 days with one product. Now, that Shopify store that I was just showing you, my Shopify store, I did this with one product. And although I did have a second product on the store, it really was like a very, very small fraction of this, of all these sales. Most of it was this one product. And so in this video, I'm going to be doing a case study. So let's talk about the product and the strategy, how I was able to do this and make this kind of revenue in 30 days. So once you understand this, you'll see that, it's obviously not a surprise. So this product has a massive target market. And I would say, without revealing the product, because of course I want to protect my business, but I'm 100% sure you've seen my ads. And actually, it's funny because on the store, there's an ad that actually has me in the ad. And a lot of people have personally messaged me on my Instagram being like, hey, this is you. Like, I found your Shopify store, which is pretty cool. I'm really trying to build it into an international brand, which it already is. But, I want everybody to have this product. But once you know what the product is, you'll understand 90% of people in developed countries would want this product. And there's a specific reason why only in developed countries, not like I have anything against non-developed countries or anything like that, but just for this product, that's just how it is. And so when I was first looking for products for my Shopify store to start a Shopify store, I only found one main competitor who was, not putting in much effort for this product. And me, someone who over time has acquired some online business experience. At the beginning, I had none, and it's not like you need any kind of online business experience to do this. Trust me, you can start with absolutely zero, especially with a video like this with me talking about it. But I found one main competitor who wasn't putting in much effort at all, and I could tell they were kind of, half-assing it, like they weren't taking it too seriously. And so that was I realized it was the perfect moment to actually get in there and really put 100% into it. And with everything that I knew, and also with me going out there and testing a lot of different things, spending a lot of money to test different things and figuring out what works and what doesn't. And so this product also is actually a rising trend on Google Trends. So I'm going to show you guys the graph for this on Google Trends. All right, guys, so this is Google Trends, and Google Trends is an amazing tool that will show you whether your product is a growing trend, if it's something that has been picking up slowly over the years, or if it's something that has exploded just in the past year. Maybe the graph went up like this. But for this product, you can see that it really picked up over the past 2 years. As you can see by this graph, there was a huge jump here over right after March 2017, between that time and now. So, and you can see if we draw a line of best fit, it kind of, it's like a steady growth. And that's the best indicator of future success for a Shopify product, for a product to sell with your Shopify dropshipping store. So that's another reason why I was so successful with this product. And Google Trends is an amazing tool, guys. Like, make sure that you're using Google Trends. Put in the main keywords for your product on this tool right here. It's trends.google.com, and you'll be able to see if it's a dying trend. Don't get into the product because you might do a lot of work and the product might just die. It might just be a fad, and you don't really want to get into fads unless you want to only make money for a month or 2 months. And my goal with these videos isn't to just show you how to make a bunch of money in the next week or in the next month, but it's to actually show you how to build a profitable online business, passive income business that will make you passive income every single day, every single month for the rest of your life, every single year. And so to do that, you need to make sure that the product that you're getting into is a growing trend, and the rising tide will propel you up. So rising trend on Google Trends, we just talked about that. And I also kept seeing the competitors' ads on my Instagram and on my Facebook, which obviously means if you're seeing ads all the time from the same company, the same brand, the same store, then obviously they're making money, because they wouldn't be running their ads if they weren't making money. And so what I did was that I checked the product on AliExpress.com and Alibaba.com, and I found that there was actually a really good profit margin to be made. And so that's when I realized this could actually be a winning product. And by the way, a lot of people don't know, but you can actually go and find dropshipping suppliers on Alibaba as well for a lot of the times a lot cheaper than AliExpress as well, because the ones on Alibaba aren't used to having dropshipping customers. And so, all you got to do is you got to ask them, hey, do you do blind dropshipping, and do you do bulk dropshipping? And all of that can be found in my Shopify supplier template. I actually released it for free. It's down below. So you can just go and grab my template. It's the one that I personally used to find this product, to find suppliers for this product. Now let's talk about the ads for this product. So what I did right away was I looked at the ads on my main competitor's Facebook page, and an amazing hack that a lot of people don't talk about and a lot of people don't know to do with Facebook advertising is that you can actually go and find anybody's ads, any brands, any stores. You can look at their ads that they're running on Facebook. Facebook actually reveals it in the info and ads section of a Facebook page. And so really, really big brands, they found a way to hide that. But most, I would say 95% of Shopify stores, they haven't found a way to hide it. I think you just have to have a big enough following to be able to hide that. But that's what I did. And I looked at the info and ads, and I'll show you how to do that right here in a second. All right, so right here I found a Shopify store, clearly a Shopify store. It's called Viral Gadgets. Actually, it was literally on my Facebook newsfeed. And so if we go and click on info and ads down here, you can see active ads from Viral Gadgets. And so this is an amazing tool to find ads that you can just go and get ideas from and then create better ads than that, right? Because it's really hard to come up with something on your own. I can tell you most successful entrepreneurs, they've actually just copied success and made it better. Like the really great ones have made it better. And so that's my philosophy, and that's how I've gotten to where I am today. And so here you can put in the country that they're running the ads in. So right now I'm living in Finland, and you can, that's why it's at Finland, but you can actually put Canada, which is where I'm originally from. You can also put United States. You can see all the ads they're running in the US. And most of my sales on my Shopify store actually come from the big four, which are USA, Australia, United Kingdom, and Canada. So those will be, most likely, those will be the first that you're going to target with your Shopify store. However, they have higher CPMs, which means it's just more expensive to run ads there. But still, I would say that those would be your best bet to start advertising in. And then after that, if those are successful, you can go and expand to other countries. And after I looked at my competitor's Facebook page and I looked at all of their ads that they were running in all the different countries, I searched up some ads on adespresso.com for more inspiration. And I found 2 ads with a lot of views, like millions of views, that I could also model after. And so I took all of that and then I created simple Instagram story and Facebook video ads, because video on Facebook actually has the lowest CPA and CPM. So it's actually the cheapest ads that you can run on Facebook. They're a lot cheaper than running feed ads like pictures. If you're just going to run a picture ad with some text, it's a lot cheaper to just run video ads. And the best part about video ads is you can actually also retarget based on engagement very well. Like you can retarget people. You can create lookalike audiences off of 95% video viewed, and you can also just retarget. Like there's so much more opportunity for retargeting with a Facebook video ad than there is just for a simple image post. And so what I also did was then I tested relevant interests at a low budget. So you have to understand that with Facebook ads, what I've realized through my own learning is that over time, what I've realized is like $3, $5, $10, and $20 ad sets, they will all perform differently depending on the interest. So with Facebook, it's interesting because it's not an exact science. With Facebook, there might be one interest that performs really well at the $3 mark budget per day, but at the $10 mark, it performs terribly with the exact same interest. But another interest might perform amazing at the $20 per day budget, but terribly at the $3 per day budget or the $5 per day budget. So that's something that you guys should know and should be aware of. And then what I did after that, I let that run for about I think it was like 5 to 7 days with the relevant interests. And then I created lookalike audiences for add to carts, initiate checkouts, and purchases at the 1%, 2%, and 3% level. So I'm going to show you guys how that looks like right now. So this is what I mean by lookalike audiences. This is how it looks like when you're creating them. And what I did was I actually created lookalike audiences for purchase. As you can see, this is what it looks like. And then I did right here, show advanced options, number of audiences, and I would do 3 or 4, sometimes 5. But I found that the highest performing number of audiences to make lookalike audiences are in the 0 to 3% range. You can see it's like percent of countries. So how this works is, let's say that 1% would be like the closest possible lookalike, 10% would be the furthest possible away from your ideal audience. So obviously with each additional percentage point, theoretically the audience will be less profitable. However, like I said, with Facebook ads, it's not an exact science and you really have to test everything. So this is what I did. And you can also go here and you can also create lookalike audiences based off of add to cart, initiate checkout, which is what I did. And these are incredibly profitable, especially initiate checkout. And view content is okay. There's a lot of different things you can do with that, like get them back in the retargeting machine, which I'll talk about that later in this video as well. But that's what I did for lookalike audiences, and this was incredibly profitable. And this is actually what really got me to that number that I just showed. So now let's talk about the site and the store design itself. So obviously incredibly important. You don't want to have a bad looking store. You want to make sure your store looks great, and that when somebody goes on your website, on your Shopify store, essentially it's a website, you want to make sure the pictures on there are amazing. You want to make sure that it's just amazing. Like it's just a really high quality store, and somebody who's just a regular person doesn't realize that, oh, it's just like a dropshipping store. And so I knew that I was marketing as the premium product in the niche at a higher price level. I always go with the philosophy that it's better to offer a more premium product with a higher perceived value and then charge a higher price level, because there's just way more profit to be made the more you charge. And it's much easier to hit 10K, 20K a month profit, 30K a month profit, 100K a month profit if you are able to charge a higher price. So I had to make sure that the website had to have beautiful design and a premium feel to it. So what I did personally was I went out and took out some photos with my iPhone. I had at the time a simple iPhone X, and now I have like an iPhone Max. But as long as you have an iPhone or one of the latest smartphones, you can just go, and it's perfect for taking pictures of your product. And I made sure to take pictures of my product, of it in use for the website. And so that's what I used for my product photos and like for the general layout. And then what I did was to really make sure that I had everything in place properly. The website looked incredible. I hired a coder on Upwork.com, and I spent about $100, $200 to help design the website and really make it look amazing. And so I basically gave my coder ideas from my competitor that they were doing well, and I wanted to make sure that my website looked a lot better than my competitors. So I also gave my coder my own ideas, and so that's really how I made the store beautiful. Like anybody who I sent the store, they were really mind blown by it, and that's the whole goal, right? You don't want to sell like a cheap product. You want to look like you're selling like a cheap brand. You want to make sure that you are really a reputable brand and perceived value, and first impressions are everything. When somebody goes on your store, immediately they make a first impression in their mind, and they'll decide whether they're going to go and buy or not. I think that literally like 50%, 60% of the purchasing decision is done within the first few seconds of the person getting onto the store. So that's how important site and store design is. Now, if we talk about the progression of going from 0 to over 200,000 in 1 month, in 30 days, I started by drop shipping the product from China. So I found my supplier on Alibaba, actually. This one I found on Alibaba. And so what happened was, of course, with my supplier template, that, like I said, you can get it for free down below. The link is down below. Make sure you watch till the end of this video, though. Don't go click off now, because it's getting really, really, really valuable and really important. You cannot miss this information here. So I started by drop shipping the product. And of course, when you're drop shipping product, it's not going to be 3 to 5 day shipping like on Amazon, where you get 2 to 3 day prime shipping. And so the biggest problem with drop shipping is that is the shipping time. And so what I realized was, well, hey, if I can prove the market, I can prove the market is there, I can prove the demand is there, and I can prove that my product, I can actually make profit with it, even with Facebook ads and everything like that, me testing a lot of things out, then I can go and move into actually buying a bulk order, because then there is no risk. I know that I am profitable, and that way I can use a fulfillment warehouse, which is, by the way, my secret, like literally my secret sauce. I know it sounds cheesy. My secret sauce to dropshipping is eventually getting your product into a fulfillment warehouse in the USA. For me, it was in the US, and actually now I'm working with fulfillment warehouses in Australia and in Europe because I'm expanding globally. So that is the secret to cutting those really, really long shipping times. And so, with ePacket, it really, it brings the shipping time down to like 1 to 2 weeks, but sometimes a lot of orders get lost. And so the goal is, if you're really serious about scaling your Shopify store and your brand to the 7-figure and 8-figure mark per year, and trust me, it's not as hard as it sounds or as hard as it really seems. It's actually pretty simple. It's just, numbers and the scale of numbers. Then really I highly recommend finding a logistics company to do this for you and a fulfillment warehouse. And so I'm not going to reveal the one that I use yet, but maybe in the future I will. They're really great. So this is the only way if you want to have 3 to 5 day shipping in the USA and Canada, which is what I have on my store. But I want to remind you guys that if you want to keep drop shipping your product, there's absolutely no problem with that. Just be prepared that some orders will get lost, and you will have a little bit of a higher refund rate, because people are just going to be upset that, oh, it's taking too long. In a world where everybody's so used to 2 to 3 day shipping, people are going to naturally become upset. Not everybody, but you're going to have a couple of percentage points higher in refund rates and cancel rates and things like that. But this is not something that you actually have to do, but this is something that I am doing because I want to make sure that my brand is really, really like world class and premium, and that everybody gets their order quickly. Now let's talk about ad testing. So of course I tested a lot of ads, and I actually tested over 50 interests with a low budget. I would test an interest at the $3, $5, $10, and $20 budget, and I would have different campaigns to different budget levels, and then I would go and write down in a notebook. I'd write down every single day like the interests that we're doing really well and the interests that we're doing poorly, and then I would actually see patterns like, okay, the $3 budget level isn't really doing that well for this particular audience or this particular lookalike audience. And so I would also test 3 to 5 actual ads, like ad creatives in the same ad set. So basically, I know it sounds confusing, but it's actually pretty simple. What I did was I created, let's say, 3 or 4 videos, really, really short videos showing my product in action. And I would also test out like images and things like that, and different copy. What I mean by different copy is just different text. I would test out different text. And so that way I would have at least 3 to 5 different actual ads in the same ad set. And so on Facebook, if you're familiar with Facebook ads, basically how it works is you've got the campaign, then you've got ad sets, which are like the interests, So for example, you've got, I don't know, like let's say Ferrari, or you've got like Home Depot, which are interests, you're targeting people who are interested in Home Depot. Walmart, right? And then let's say in the Walmart interest, you would have 3 to 5 different actual ads in there testing for the same interest. And so I found that was the best way to really look at patterns and see which ad creatives and which copy was doing the best. And that's what I kept, and then everything else I killed off. And so I also realized that the ads that I was making, they absolutely had to be what I call scroll stoppers. So when somebody's scrolling through their phone on Facebook, you need to make sure that your ad is going to cause them to stop scrolling. And so I also realized that the ads that I was making, they absolutely had to grab attention right away, because of course in today's world of ADD, people, you only have like a split second to grab someone's attention. And so the ads that I was making, I had to make sure that they were scroll stoppers, what I call scroll stoppers. So when someone was scrolling through their Facebook or through Instagram, they would stop scrolling and they would look at the ad, because right away they're like, something in their subconscious mind is saying, hey, look at this ad because it's cool. And so what I realized also through my ad testing is that CPM and monitoring CPM, which is cost per mille, it's the cost of having 1,000 impressions, or basically 1,000 people to look at your ad. It's incredibly important. And so I kept it low by making sure that my ad grabbed attention. If you have an ad, it's not grabbing attention, your CPMs are going to be really high. It's going to be very difficult to be profitable with your ads. And so now let's talk about the holy grail of Shopify Facebook ads. And this is what I used to go from the 5 figures to the 6 figures a month mark in sales. And so the real holy grail of Shopify Facebook ads and Shopify is scaling lookalike audiences. Now, I didn't know about this when I was first starting with Shopify. I thought that, okay, you could scale out interests and you could really spend a lot of money on interests. But to be honest with you, that's not the most profitable way. The most profitable way that I found, and this is the exact strategy that I've used, was to create lookalike audiences for purchases. So basically, Facebook would go and create an audience that has the same interests, the same like people that are kind of similar to the people that have purchased members from me to people that have added to cart on my Shopify store, people that initiated checkout, people that viewed content. And I would also test the last 7, 14, 30, and 60 days. And so I think if I remember correctly right now, because it really depends. For some lookalikes, the 60-day mark was profitable. For some lookalikes, the 14-day mark was profitable. They were pretty much all profitable. The most profitable ones were the 60 and the 14, I believe, and 30 was also good. 7 was just a little bit too short, like it was too recent, I found, even though it works well for a lot of other dropshippers. And so I kept creating new ads with new copy to stay ahead of all the new competitors coming into the market, because as soon as everybody started seeing my ads, of course, if you're doing well, you're going to have competition come in. And so I made sure to dominate the market by continuously making new ads. And for me, it was easy. I just kept making new ads. And I also, later, actually hired a few influencers that I found locally when I was living in Vancouver and also here in Finland. And then I just, had them use the product, and it would be like simple, 30-second, 20-second ads. And so what I also did was I killed bad performing ad sets, and I duplicated the best performing ones 3 to 5 times each ad set. So I would every day check at the same time. It's important to check your Facebook ads at the same time every day. I would kill the bad ad sets, and then I would duplicate the best ones 3 to 5 times. That's how I was able to scale really, really quickly. Then what I did was I created a retargeting machine, or what I like to call a retargeting machine. And so if you're not retargeting your potential buyers or people that are visiting your website, people that have abandoned the cart, they were about to buy, they were this close from buying, but they just for some reason, forgot about it, or they decided not to, you must retarget them. And so for me, this is where I made so much profit, an insane amount of profit. And so what I did exactly was I started retargeting for 95% viewed video on my ads, and then I also tested the other engagements, but 95% viewed video was the best one. I also retargeted for people that have viewed content, visited the website, visitors by time spent on the website. I forgot to write it here, but very, very amazing audience there. People who abandoned cart, initiated checkout, and I was basically retargeting them, and I tested both no coupon and offering a coupon, and a 20% off coupon worked insane. And so, of course, obviously you would prefer not to offer a coupon, but I would rather offer them a 20% off coupon than not get the sale at all and lose all that money that I spent on getting them through Facebook ads. And so, this is part of building a phenomenal backend, retargeting and lookalikes, things like that. That's a backend, and email sequences, which I'm not going to get into too much in this video because it's more advanced. But so 20% off coupon, I offered it through my ads there. I would literally write in there, hey, if I remember correctly, it was looks like you forgot to finish your order quickly. We're running out soon. Make sure that you grab yours. We're also offering you a 20% off coupon. Here we go. We're sure you're going to enjoy it. Something like that. That's what it was. I don't remember exactly. But I also used, and I want to show you guys this on my Shopify store, this amazing app called SMS Bump. A lot of people don't know, but with Shopify, a superpower or a super tool is SMS Bump, and it's follow-up SMS marketing. And I didn't really put much time into it. I kind of set up a simple sequence where I offered a 20% off coupon. Basically, if somebody abandoned cart on Shopify, a lot of people would leave their phone numbers, but they would just abandon checkout. And so what I did was I set up a little sequence where they would get a personal text written personally from someone in my company, and I think I used Ashley, hey, this is Ashley from, and I saw that you forgot to finish your order. I'm willing to give you a 20% off coupon. Here you go. It's going to expire tonight. And so I got a 6,000% ROI on this. I literally spent $60 on the text because you have to pay for the text with the app. I made back $4,200 just from this SMS bump. And so obviously I'm going to spend a lot more time right now, actually tonight, on setting up an SMS sequence, like a way better one. I just didn't spend too much time on it. But just not even spending a lot of time, I made an extra $4,100 there, on SMS bump. So I'm going to show you guys that now. So here you go, guys. In the last 30 days, 6,700% ROI. Spent $62.23 and got 80 orders with a revenue of $4,200, which is absolutely insane. And you can see that my conversion rate on this sequence, it's literally like a one text sequence, I think, 51%. So SMS marketing, guys, insane, huge. So that's really, really important if you want to, have a really, really amazing retargeting machine, and you want to make sure that you're literally getting all the money that you're making all the money that you can be making, and you're not leaving anything on the table. And then to finish off the retargeting machine, I also tested videos, photos, and I also made sure to test all the different placements. And I found out that actually for retargeting, including all the placements, including audience network, even though most people would say don't use audience network, it's just fake clicks and bots. I found that not to be true at all. I got a lot of really, really cheap sales. Only with retargeting though. If I'm not doing retargeting, then I'm doing specifically Instagram feed, Instagram stories, and Facebook feed. And now let's talk about the results. So all this work and all this time, what was my net profit? So my net profit was around 22.3%, and I calculated that today, and that included all the fees and expenses for the website, for the coding, for the apps, and including the ad spend as well. And so by far my biggest expense was advertising, so Facebook ads, and then my second biggest expense was the cost of the product, of course, so COGS in official business terms, which just means cost of goods sold, and that's just your unit price from China, including shipping. And so what I want to say is that, guys, this business works, and you can and you will build a 6 to 7 figure business that will change your life if you're willing to spend money on ads, and you have to be willing to spend money on ads or else it just won't work. If you follow the right information, there's a lot of misinformation out there on YouTube, on the internet, and easily, I can tell you I was completely overwhelmed when I was I really committed to perfecting this business, really learning Shopify dropshipping, and also to getting to the next level, and so I can go and tell you guys how it works. And so for me, I was so overwhelmed. So I can't imagine somebody who's just starting with Shopify, how overwhelmed you can be. So as long as you are willing to spend money on ads, if you're following the right information and you are persistent, and last of all, you believe in yourself that you can do it, then you will succeed without a doubt. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Subscribe to the channel if you did, if you found a lot of value in this video. And also feel free to send me a personal message on my Instagram, a DM, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. If you have a question to do with Shopify or to do with Amazon, with e-commerce, with making money online, with entrepreneurship in general, I go and actually answer a lot of my subscribers on there. I get a ton of messages every single day saying how much I'm inspiring people to go out there and really fight for their dreams and to start a passive income business and get into entrepreneurship in the golden age of the internet. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.